Hey guys, I'm Lindsey Lomis and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Lindsay, it's so good to reconnect with you. It's been quite some time and you've done so much since the last time that we spoke. Your new single now, Save Your Breath, is another masterpiece that you continue to release.
Yeah.
You're kind of showing off on this one. Um, just
I try my
because
best to show off on all of them, but
yeah, but this one, it's like right at the start, it's like that run. It's like save your breath. I was like, damn. she's not even like setting it up. She's like jumping right in.
thank you. Oh my God. No, it was such a debate in my head whether I should leave that there. I was like, should the song start like that or is it way too dramatic? But I personally love it. I think I had to have one song start with a riff, at least one.
That must be, I mean, for any other artist, I feel like that would be scary because it'd be like, oh, that's the big hit. Like, I don't know how to make it better. Like once the song continues, but I feel like you just keep growing into that like kind of vocal. I don't know that vocal technique that you are so comfortable doing, which is like so weird to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That one, like, honestly has been the most fun to play live. I really like fell in love with it because of the live show. So like I'm so happy it's finally out and people get to hear the whole produced version and everything. So thank you. That means a lot. I'm glad you like it.
Now, as far as the produced version, you actually have producer credits on there, so you co-produced this as well. So how awesome is that, and how much of a transition has that been for you? Like now being able to produce your music as well.
Yeah, that's been so huge for me. I think like for the longest time, I just didn't think my input and ideas and that kind of thing deserved that kind of credit. And then I worked with Brandon, and most of the songs on this EP I have production credit on, and he allowed me to just play all the instruments. We fully like experimented together, and it was just such an amazing like growing and learning experience for me, especially to realize that like you should stick up for yourself in those moments, and you do deserve to get credit for the things that you for your own ideas and that kind of thing. And so I think that was just a huge turning point for me, and even just playing my own instruments on the tracks, and that makes it feel 1,000% more me, and just it feels very full circle. I feel way more connected to these songs because of that, since I have to in a really long time.
Yeah, I'm sure that has like a big impact, especially on the writing process. Like just because like now you have not only do you think of like, oh, someone could be playing the guitar or someone could be playing the piano during this part, but it's like you're actually like playing it as you're probably creating the music. So how has that kind of helped you become a better songwriter?
Oh my gosh, so much. I feel like I always start songs on guitar or piano, but mainly guitar. Like I always have to have some instrument in my hands. And so a lot of these songs I wrote maybe this time last year, and it was just like on guitar, kind of stripped. We had these songs for so long, and it wasn't until I got to really take them on the road and play them live, which was when I like noticed that I was really connected to them. The crowd was connected to them. And I think also a huge part of that is when you write something on guitar, it's so much easier to be able to play it live on your own. And a lot of these tours, except for one, it was just me and my guitar, so I have to be able to play it. And I think that was a huge thing too, getting to feel out the live show format and then getting to go into the studio after we recorded these songs maybe like 2 tours in. And after I had like really experimented with what I'm comfortable with, and then we just got to like add a bunch of like crazy more fun stuff on top of it. So it definitely helped my writing process. And even now, knowing that I want these songs to be able to translate easily live, I go into sessions knowing that I need to be able to play them for sure.
Do you feel like the tour experience was the main reason for you to finally take that leap and jump into the production seat as well?
Totally. Yeah, I think I've definitely always been really interested in the production process. I think I've been looking at the back of producers' heads for like 3 years, 4 years now in sessions. And I think also even just learning how to like articulate what I want to hear and that kind of thing. And observing how they do it, I think that's been huge. And then the live show, of course, just really helped me lock in the songs themselves. So when we went over and took them into production, we already had such a strong core and then we could just build it up from that. And so that was definitely huge. It also made me realize to stick up for myself as a guitarist, because I probably wouldn't even have called myself a guitarist like a couple of years ago, and that's like such a huge part of my artistry. So I think I've grown so much in the past few years. But yeah, that definitely helped me find those songs and really like settle into them.
What was that chemistry like with writing the song with your songwriting soulmate Cole?
Yes, I love Cole. I'm actually seeing her tonight. But it was so fun. Cole is just, it's so, we bring out like the best parts of each other. I feel like when we're in a room together writing, and we've done it so many times together now that we just have it so locked in, and before we even say something, we'll know like this isn't right or this is right. And I also, even when we're in the room with new people, like she gets me and she can help me like stick up for myself even more. And so I've learned a lot from her in that way too. And she's also an incredible producer. So I think watching her work really inspired me. And I was like, oh yeah, there are female producers. We can do it. It's not like they don't exist. It's just that you rarely see them. And so Cole has inspired me for so long, but I just writing these songs with her, majority of them was just such an honor, and it made me like love the experience that much more.
When we first spoke, you were working with producer Ryan Daly or Daly. I
Yeah,
think I butchered
daily.
his name last time as well. Uh, but you were working with him on your single and then also the debut album or the debut EP. Now you're
Yeah.
working with Brandon. How much of a difference is it now working with Brandon? And do you feel like there's similarities as at the same time with these two producers?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I look up to both of them so much and respect them both so much. I think Ryan was the first producer I really saw that I was like, this is like a form of art in itself. Like producing is its own instrument, its own like whole new world. So I think like seeing Ryan do that and take his magic and put it into songs was so incredible. I feel like this process with Brandon, I came in more confident and I came in with more of like my own steady ideas. We also came in with the songs already written. With Ryan, a lot of we were like writing all those songs together and in the studio, and then we'd produce them as we go. And then with Brandon, we had all these songs written for, months and months and months. And then I took them into him, and we just got to like fully have fun and experiment. I feel like we just played with all the toys in this like studio. We just played with all the pedals, all the old amps and everything. And so it feels definitely much more hands-on. And I think a big part of that was not necessarily like the difference between Ryan and Brandon, but mainly like the difference between my confidence going into the studio and really like standing my ground.
Thinking back, I remember you being, I don't know if shy is the right word, but I feel like you didn't realize like how incredible of an artist you were at the time. And like I feel like you were unsure of yourself.
Right?
um
That
that
was
whole
it.
imposter syndrome was like real.
Yes, totally. I was deep in that for a bit. And it took like 2 full years of, all this and this waiting, which is what it felt like for me to like have that alone time to truly dive into my own mind and like figure it out. And so I really needed that time and that space kind of away from everybody. I did a lot of Zoom sessions, and those were good, but it felt like busy work. It didn't really feel like art, it didn't feel like true creation. And so just coming out of that space and time alone with myself and being way more intentional in, what I'm doing now, it just feels so much better. I feel like I'm in such a different place, and I'm like so happy about it.
So August 19th is the release for the sophomore EP Daydreaming. That
Yeah.
transition from in the madness to now, like vocally, how drastic do you feel that has been?
It's so funny because I was listening to In the Madness out of like nostalgia the other day, and my team had texted me and was like, I was just listening to like slow motion and you sound so different. And I totally hear it. I don't know if a lot of people do, but I feel such a difference in my voice, and not even just like the tone, but more of just, I don't know,
What's the
the little thing.
control?
Yeah, the control and the tastefulness and like the strength of it. I think a lot of that has changed. A lot of like um I've grown in my riffs and everything even, and it hasn't been that long. I think I'm like just am constantly changing, and even that, listening to my EP that I released when I was like 15, that is such a drastic change. So I feel like it's really fun listening to those, and like obviously at times you can be like, oh my God, why'd I do that? But other times it can be like, that's so crazy. I was in such a different place then, and I've like grown so much since that moment. And so I've definitely like, I will never have like regret in releasing music. I don't think. I just, it all led me to like the moment that I'm in now. And so it is really like interesting listening back to them to see that the difference in just that much time. But yeah.
And your timing is perfect for the release of this EP, because then following that, you're going to go on tour with Joshua Bassett, which is going to be amazing. Like I feel like that audience is definitely going to gravitate towards your music. What are you most excited for on this tour?
I mean, I was gonna say the thing I'm most excited for is the audience. I feel like a new crowd, and also just like they feel young and fresh and excited. And I think I've even like communicated with people on social media already about it, and they've already been so excited without even like meeting me. And so it's just like I think it's going to be all around such a good experience. And I actually got to meet Joshua a bit ago, and he was so kind and sweet. So I feel like the tour is just going to be like a bunch of like kids having fun, like having a good time. I'm so excited for that one. It's going to be probably like the most cool thing I've ever done.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to that. And lastly, since the EP drops August 19th, Daydreaming EP, what are you most excited for on this EP?
I will say, like, this is the most connected and confident I've felt to my music in so long. And I think, like, even just listening to the songs, you can hear that in it. I feel like it's obvious that it feels way more me. And I'm just excited for people to get to hear the stuff I've been working on I mean, like I said, I wrote these songs a year ago and they hadn't come out until now. And I think that time away from people hearing my style for so long, it's just going to be like an awakening for me and for everyone. And I'm just excited for them to like be like, oh, I get it, especially because I played so many of these songs on tour, but no one could actually listen to them. And so I'm just excited for people to like finally have them and call them theirs. And just, I'm so excited. They're like my little babies.
I'm looking forward to it. Congratulations with the success. I love that I got to speak with you early on, and like just being able to watch that evolution, because you've definitely grown in the last 2 years, and I can only imagine how much more you're going to grow like after that. So congratulations with the success, your new single, and obviously the upcoming Sophomore EP. And I look forward to finally getting to meet in person for our next interview.
Thank you so much, Rob. I appreciate it more than you know.